Yes. In the spirit, there are lives with mark. About to be destroyed. And among such people, they will propose to someone. But on their face, about to be destroyed. But the person they want to propose to, what will he see? Fine leg, fine shoe, nice shape. He will not see about to be destroyed. Or he will see dangling khaki. And then he will lift up the eyes and make the decision. And before you know it, other things will happen. Somebody may want to enter into a business and then they lift up their eyes. That was what Lot did here. But what is touching to me was Abraham's reaction when he chose that land. Imagine headmen. This man chose where that is watered. The other place, of course, is a desert land. Dry. And he has his cattle. How come he kept quiet? Because of the information he had. If you look at verse 14. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, now thy eyes, and look from the place where thou art, northward, southward, eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. Look at verse 17. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it, in the breadth of it, for we give it unto thee. Verse 18. Then, that then is significant. It shows us what happened as a result of what he heard. Then Abraham removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar to the Lord. That altar is symbolic of his consecration, symbolic of his yieldedness. God just spoke to him. Yes, that where you are is a dry land, but look from there forward. Look left, right. All the land I'll give to you. I can perceive God speaking to someone. Look from where you are. Don't look at where you are. Where you are is the desert. It's dry. But from where you are going somewhere else. And left, right, wait. All that I will give to you. When Abraham heard that, there was no murmur. There was no tear. There was no lot. So even if you didn't respect anything, you didn't respect my age. You know, Lot was just a nephew, Abi. A nephew. So Abraham was his father's brother. So at least, there should be at least maybe 10-year gap. Do you understand that? Abraham could have said, even if or anything, why not respect my age? He didn't complain. Why? He had an information. Just watch what happened between that Genesis 13 and Genesis 14. Lot has gone there. But Genesis 14 already, that place that was plain, well watered, there was an invasion. Everything about him was in danger. It was Abraham that came to the rescue. I wish he had followed Abraham that time and said, Abraham, I'm sorry. There are some losses that he lost after that he would not have lost. Do you remember in Genesis 19, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah now became real? Do you know that all those cattle that Lot acquired that went with him to Sodom, and those his servants that were fighting Abraham's servants, you know that none of them came out of Sodom? Or you didn't know, take note of that? Lot had his servants. They followed him to Sodom with his weight of cattle. But when he came out of Sodom, by the mercy of Abraham's intercession, which God responded to, it was only Lot. In fact, without a back, It was only him and his wife and his daughters. The wife became a pillar of salt. There was even no mention of cattle again, because angels dragged him by the hand to get out of there in order to even preserve his life. All those things he acquired that made him lift up his eyes, they perished there. You see, brethren, moving from where we are to the next stage of life, it might look near, but there are depths of things that could happen. There are depths of things that could happen. What will help us to go through is what we have come to know of God, who not only knows tomorrow, but holds tomorrow. So divine information helps you to consecrate. What does it even mean to consecrate? Let me show you what it means. In Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7. If you read Acts chapter 7 verse number 5, the Bible says that when Abraham got into that land that God spoke about for some years, he could not even have one place to put his foot and call his own. Look at verse 5. And he gave him none inheritance in it. No, not so much as to set his foot on. Yet he promised that he will give it to him for a possession. When he got into the land, remember, if you read Hebrews 11 verse 8, God told him to go to a land which he should hereafter receive for a promise. But that hereafter was not defined, as in whether it's 1 week, 1 year, it was not defined. It was consecration that gave him the staying power to wait through the process for the manifestation of the blessing. Consecration is your yieldedness. If you read Hebrews 11 verse 9, the Bible said Abraham stayed in tents. In tents, even with Isaac. Tents, even with Jacob. Staying in tents in the midst of an environment that is already developed. It is like sometimes when you see people from the other side with tents around. You know where they usually have their tents. Sometimes it may look like a fallow place. Sometimes even dump sites. You understand? And they have those tents close to posh buildings. Imagine what it means like you are coming out from those tents. You are likely to feel low. But Abraham didn't feel low. Do you remember in Genesis chapter 14, the king of Sodom wanted to give